Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about my favorite makeup brushes that I use, the brands that I love. It seems like there's a million different lines of brushes these days. Like every single makeup line pretty much has their own line of brushes, but these ones have held up for me over years. Like I've had them forever and I really love them. So just some things before we start. You could buy brushes in a set. I know that a lot of them sell them like, in one big collection, but just be careful with that too, because you might not use everything in the collection. You might not, and it might end up costing you more in the long run than just buying each one individually. So it's really up to you. Also, I'm a huge fan of multitasking brushes as well. I happen to be a really big brush person who loves applying makeup, so I'm going to have a lot of brushes, more so than you probably need. But again, I like to play around with different brands. I like variety. I like to have more in my rotation so that I'm not constantly washing my brushes. So definitely take all that into account as I go through all these different. So I'm gonna go in order with how I actually put my makeup on my face. Like I'm gonna start with my foundation brushes first. I have It for Ulta brushes, which are my favorite. This is the foundation brush. It's shaped like a heart. This one might be a limited edition, so don't come at me. It's a limited edition, but the fact is you can still find the ones with the silver handles on their website. It might not be this exact one. They're a little bit more pricey, or pricier. They're a little bit pricier, but if you go online, you can go and find these a lot cheaper on eBay and stuff. So just saying, check that out too. And there's coupons and deals and stuff, so you can definitely get the price down for what it is. But check out It for Ulta foundation brushes. They're so soft, super dense. Like, I just love how they apply. It just feels so good on the face. So all my brushes are pretty soft, I'm not gonna lie. Like I wouldn't talk about them if they like scratch my face up to death. Next one is going to be the regular It line. This is the It Cosmetics brush. This is the flat kabuki. Again, a little bit pricier, but for the quality, it's worth it, I think. And again, I'm not saying anything, but check out other websites for a cheaper version of it. Moving on, Morphe M439. You can get this brush for about 15 bucks. This is their round kabuki brush. I love this brush a lot. It's really, really soft, and like you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth from your foundation by putting it on and blending it out nicely and not wasting it on a brush that's going to make it look streaky. So that's why it's important to have a good foundation brush. I love these two. These are two Real Techniques brushes. I love this brand. You can find these at Kohl's, Ulta, drugstores. This one is this is the multitasking brush right here. This one's a beautiful brush. I love how it's narrow, so it can really get into all the corners of your face really nicely. Great brush. 9 bucks, I want to say. And the buffing brush as well. Really, really nice for certain types of foundation. I highly recommend. Again, be careful with those sets because you might not use everything and might waste money and be stuck with brushes you don't like. Shadow brushes. So these are all for the lid. So, right here you would put this. Wet n Wild is a really good budget brand that really holds up well. We're talking like, I don't even know, 2 bucks, 3 bucks, maybe even less. But these are awesome. They're the white handle. They don't have the names on it, but they're easy to find in the drugstore. And I don't think they have a huge collection of brushes. So this one I would use for the lid. This one could be like a brow bone brush. Both really, really great, and they hold up. They don't shed at all. Like you can't really go wrong with that. I have a Real Techniques brush. This one is the domed shadow brush, which is awesome. I love this for the crease and the lid. Again, multitasking is my friend. I like using brushes in different ways, like the same brush for the crease, same brush for the lid. You know what I mean. This isn't really old Sephora brush. I don't think they make anymore, but again, don't come at me. They make really good brushes, Sephora does. I just don't have a ton of them because I, stick with other brands a little bit more, and this is a little bit pricey, but I do like this brush a lot. So check out their brand overall for some good brushes. Then I have the e.l.f. blending brush. Really, really inexpensive. The only thing with e.l.f. brushes is they do come apart from the handle. They don't shed, but yeah, so just be aware that that can happen, but I'm almost not mad at it because it works so well that I'm okay with that. I just kind of shove it back in there and move on with my life. They don't all do that. I know there's like different types of brushes in the e.l.f. line. Like there's like the higher end ones in the e.l.f. line, if you want to say that, and then there are the cheaper ones, but that's for the cheaper ones. But this is so good, guys. If you're looking to not spend a lot, just try to do e.l.f. These are some brushes for the crease. If you're trying to do a really concentrated line in that crease. Really good blending ones that really get those colors in the crease. So this one's a MAC 217. This is really, really nice. Buffs out the color really well. This one is the Morphe E22. Does the same thing. So you're looking for that pointed shape. This one is the Morphe B79. So this is for a more concentrated crease color. If you really want to just get in that area a little bit more. I mean, there's ones that are even thinner than this that you can really get in there, but this is probably a good one for blending. I don't really use these brushes as much these days because I prefer a more rounded brush that I can blow out a little bit more. So that would be like these guys right here. You're like, why do you have 5 of them? Because I'm a brush person. These two are my favorite. These are the Morphe E27 and this one is the Morphe E23. They look pretty much like the same brush and they probably are the same exact brush. Let's be real. But I love how these blow out the color in the crease. I tend to put it right here and then kind of smoke it out. I love that. And the others, again, Wet n Wild, you'll recognize the white handle, really good brush, even cheaper. The Sigma E40, this must be the newer one that they put out. I feel like the older one was a lot bigger, longer, fluffier, but I still use it. And I have the Morphe B23. So they all kind of do the same thing, but I like having all of them. All right, moving on. Sometimes I will use shadow as a liner, so here are a couple alternatives for that. The e.l.f. smudging brush is really nice. It's dense and really you can draw a line with it. It's really nice for like putting shadow up here and shadow down here. And these also do the same thing. We have Sigma, the flat defining brush is really, really, really nice. This one is the E15. The Sigma eye brushes I really like. The foundation Sigma brushes, not so much. Those have fallen apart on me. But the eye ones are good. And I have the Sigma small angle brush, which you can use for your brows. If you have like a brow pomade and you want to fill in your brows, this is really nice. Or you can just use it as an eyeliner brush, but it's an E65. Really good quality. Or the E05 brush. I think I got this free from buying other brushes or something. It came free. It's really nice and that actually keeps that point, which is really good because you don't want to apply winged liner and have a really like smashed up brush. So that's really, really good. Now these brushes I use for concealer, so spot concealing, under eye concealing, blending it out. This is the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush, which you could also use probably for highlighter and a bunch of other things, even eyeshadow, like let's be real. But it's really, really good for a concealer, like spot concealing and blending it out. This one is the Contour Brush by Real Techniques. Really good. This is my favorite one for under eye concealing and like blending out. So check this one out. This is a setting brush by Real Techniques. Now this brush is a skinny guy. You could use this for really contouring if you want to, or like setting powder. Use it for anything you want, highlighter even, but this is a really good one. This is an actual highlighter brush. This is the M510. Now I said I would say these in order. I'd probably use this last because I usually do highlighter as a last step, but just so you know. Powder brushes, guys, powder brushes. So again, It Cosmetics brush. This one's really luxury. I mean, it's a little bougie looking. It's really big, but that's what I love about it. It's really soft. This one costs an arm and a leg. Check out eBay. But yeah, this one they sell at Ulta. This one is the, I want to say it's like a powder wand, they call it. Ball wand type of brush. Also but for Ulta. Love this one. So soft, guys. I swear, I just love this. You can probably use it for contouring as well, but it's an all over the face powder brush, but love it. Now, I have different opinions about Echo Tools brushes. I feel like as much as I like this brush is a favorite of mine. A couple of their brushes have fallen apart on me in the past, so I can't recommend the whole line. I only have this one that I really love. They're really soft. All the Echo Tools brushes are really soft. It's just like the bristles always fall apart on me. I don't know what it is, but this one has not. So they make a different model now. I don't think it looks like this, but it's worth trying. All these brushes are trial and error. You'll kind of see for yourself if you like them or not. And maybe the ones they make now don't fall apart. I don't know. There's inconsistencies within brands, so just be mindful of that. And this is a MAC brush. I know not a lot of people use MAC brushes these days because of all the other brands that have come out, but this is the MAC 134. I love this for powder and bronzer. It's just, oh my gosh, it holds up so well. I wouldn't recommend going on eBay for MAC brushes. I think MAC is one of those brands that they try to like make really bad replicas, and just be careful. So I wouldn't buy these on eBay. Just saying. blush brushes, guys. I love my blush brushes, and I use these for contouring too sometimes, and powder, it depends. So this one is one of my favorites. This is the Real Techniques brush. This is such a good one. I use it for bronzer and blush, and I use it for both in the same session sometimes. Like, that's a great idea. You just because I have a lot of them doesn't mean that you need all these. Like, multitask. This one is, actually I have two by BH Cosmetics. This one is they're both vegan. They're both vegan, but this one's the V3 and this one is the V2. Now, I don't know if they still have these on the website, but the point is BH Cosmetics makes really nice budget-friendly brushes that don't fall apart. These have not shed on me. I've used them many, many times. Love them. You can use them for different things. Blush, contour, powder, whatever, but I mainly use these for blush and contour. So check these out. Vegan line. Pretty pleased with them. I'm becoming a broken record with the Real Techniques thing, but this is a really, really nice blush brush. It's really, really soft and really puts product on there really nicely. You might think like it's so soft it's not going to put any product on your face, but this really does. I really love it. So check it out. It's beautiful shape too. I love the dome shape too. It's just so like, oh, it feels so good on your face. I have a MAC blush brush. This might be my favorite one. This is one of my favorites. This is the MAC one. I'll put it down below, but it is my favorite blush brush for getting blush on your apples of your cheeks, and it really concentrates that color on there. If you want more of like a washed out brush, you might want something more like this for like a washed out blush look that's not as concentrated, but I really love this one. So this one's a Clinique one. It's a really old one, so I mean any kind of shape like this would work, but that's my favorite. Hey guys, so I think that's everything for today. Those are a lot of brushes, I know, but I am a brush girl. I do love them. You don't need all of these, but again, it depends how much you want to wash your brushes. It depends on if you're a brush girl or not. It depends on, you know, what you're trying to do. Again, multitask. You don't have to use different brushes for every little thing. That's a way to save money, and sometimes you're just lazy and you don't feel like using all these different brushes. I mean, come on, I get lazy too. That's it. I hope you got some ideas today, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe, and I hope to see you back. Bye guys.